I'm going on a quest.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Canada.
You like the dunk tank?
Walk over glass. Hey, rep, kiss my
We messed up. Things got out of hand. Drake's is in bad shape.
Don't take my gold away.
You wearing your rubber boots tonight?
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 32. We're giving away a damn tailor-made driver today, so listen until the end.
This is JD's podcast. JD's Rubber Boots podcast. We're gonna sit and relax and tell you all sorts of stories. Talk about life and little sports. You know we're gonna play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah. 'Cause this is the podcast.
Live from Suite
5426.
5426 from the Cosmopolitan Hotel.
Maybe it's 5624.
5624 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to the second annual Stanley Cup Final Edition of the Rubber Boots Podcast.
Woo!
Puffy's faking that he's energized right now, but he's very tired. We've had a long travel day.
People look at those as just off days or not.
Two
Very
pieces
taxing.
of exciting news. One, Puffy is still alive.
Yes. I almost died in Washington, but
We'll get into that a little bit later on. Second, we have perhaps our most popular guest, you think, in the history
yeah,
of the pod?
people like him because he's a
He's the always reluctant, never happy to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, Saskatchewan farm boy, Darren Drager.
Thank you. One condition, we're not talking about doing dirty things to family members, correct?
No, that was,
one time.
For anyone who didn't hear, last year's, the first annual Stanley Cup edition of the Rubber Boots Pod, we had a hypothetical about sleeping with your
mother-in-law.
or your wife in your mother-in-law's body.
Or
your
bodies, and you had to switch them back by sexing them.
Right, and Dregs' mother-in-law had passed away.
We didn't know that.
No,
Otherwise we wouldn't have
we
answered
felt
that.
bad about it.
Yeah.
But not bad enough that we didn't bring it up again.
That is impossible. See, my mother-in-law passed away a few years ago.
Well, that's
So,
way to make us feel
it
awful.
really is.
Play it.
Numerous times. I want to say off the top a couple of things. I'm going to suck up to our guest. I think he's been the MVP of our coverage so far.
Yeah, he's been excellent.
He's down there in the dressing room every single night. He doesn't miss a morning skate. Well, none of us do.
Well, I've
but-
been stride for stride with him the whole time, so.
Yeah, you're kind of become his assistant where you
Yeah.
used to be my personal
Yeah,
assistant.
it's true.
Or as Tessa Bonham says,
No, you're not supposed to say that. Helping hand.
oh, sorry, that was Nurse Bonhomie. She's a fictional character.
Well, she's definitely fictional.
You all right there, kid? He might be the first to die.
I might.
We have a lot to get into about Vegas and Washington, but I also wanted to apologize for my relentless mocking of the Drager Cafe on Twitter. I've realized at the Cup Final that a lot of players, when we go down in the dressing room, they approach you and talk about the Drager Cafe.
See, but it's more petty jealousy on your part. I mean, we all know that the Rubber Gloves podcast hasn't developed as swiftly as you were hoping.
Niche audience.
Yeah, it definitely is a niche audience, no question about that. And the
But wait a
Drager
second.
Cafe-
The Drager Cafe is exposed on network television. The Rubber Boots podcast is grown organically,
Exactly.
quietly across the country.
I've seen the promos though on the NHL games, the
we're
regional
starting-
games.
we're starting to get
Oh
big.
no, that's Bob's podcast.
We also had them too.
Oh, did you?
By the way, Puffy's eating French fries now, which is more food combined than was on the entire Drager Cafe 27 installments.
Yeah, and he's also a 45-year-old man who ordered a $17 vanilla milkshake. Like, who does that? What is wrong with you?
The Vanilla's milkshakes are very legitimate.
But it is very impressive. All the players walk by and they're like, "Hey, the Drager Cafe." I think it's become your thing.
I
Well,
think
and
it's bigger than his insider gig.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Do you think could it be a show?
I think it could be a show, less insider, more just random babbling.
So what you're proposing is we punt Bob McKenzie and Pierre LeBrun.
No.
They're
They
just
continue
extras.
on doing it. The insider, yeah, they'll do that.
I thought you were supplanting insider
No,
trading.
no.
with
That's
the
still
Drager
going to
Cafe.
come along. with Frank Saravelli joining the trio.
From what I've seen, LeBron could just retire on blackjack money.
Fair enough. Now, this is
Or
true.
shuffleboard winnings.
Why? Let's go on the side.
Okay.
There's shuffleboard in this casino.
There is.
I missed it the other night. There was Nurse Bonhomie was in town with her
Cousin Eddie. Her boyfriend, Eddie.
Are you sure it was her boyfriend?
They had quite a time, by all accounts.
They did have a good time.
And you had some sort of shuffleboard game with
did.
Nurse Bonhomie.
It was LeBron and Nurse Bonhomie versus Drager and myself.
And who won?
We beat them the first game. They beat us the second game. But Pierre claims he's never lost a game of shuffleboard for years.
And he also claimed after the third game that he outpointed Puffy 19-1.
First of all, it
Which
was
is hard to
4
do.
in the morning. Who's keeping track of individual statistics in a shuffleboard game? And second, there's no way that happened.
Where the hell was I? Drager Cafe.
There was a
LeBron.
weird aside, but there's
Weird aside.
yeah.
That's what this podcast should be called. Weird Asides.
The only thing true that's going to come out of this entire segment is that, and this is fact, Patrick Kane, as part of the Drager Cafe in Denmark, described how they have a Drager Cafe just around the Chicago Blackhawks dressing room.
Right.
And in season, they'll invite people in.
But do you
and
think
they'll have
they think
conversations.
they mock you and they were just being polite when he was on with you?
I didn't get that sense.
Because you telling that story, I'm getting that was the sense.
No, I felt that it was sincere.
Do they call it the Drager Cafe?
As a matter of fact, they do.
And
then
someone pretends to be Drager?
I don't know that, but I feel like there's some sort of copyright infringement.
You should get paid, though. I mean, we have like 4 sponsors on this podcast. You don't have one for a nationally aired thing. Speaking of sponsors, we've already started to delve into this. So iDrinkCoffee.com presents The Week That Was.
Let's discuss the week that was with James Stelling and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
The Week That Was is brought to you by our friends at iDrinkCoffee.com. We'll play the theme a little bit later. Lester McLean is not with us in Vegas. He was fired 2 weeks ago.
Or maybe 3 weeks ago.
We have he left a voice message for us from Punta Cana. So we'll play that a little bit later on. It's very serious, Lester. So the week that was. How long have we been here? It's all blur now.
We started in Vegas a week ago Saturday.
And today is Tuesday. We're taping this. So about 10 days we've been on the road.
And this is our second trip to Vegas.
How would you evaluate the Stanley Cup Final from a hockey perspective and from a fun perspective so
From
far?
a hockey perspective, it's, I think, the best final I've been to.
Really?
Yeah, every game's been pretty exciting. Both teams are playing well. And
Great
the crowd,
atmospheres.
Vegas crowd really was, well, I don't know the crowd, but the atmosphere around the game, all the stuff with the music was fantastic. Washington's crowd was really good. Their pregame not as good.
Yeah. Pat Sajak
was weak.
that was about as lame as you could possibly get. But I would concur. It's been Vegas, man, for a first-year franchise, they got it right as far as all
Everything.
the game op stuff,
Yeah.
even all the hokey stuff with the arrows and
Very
everything's
Vegas-y, but it's
been
awesome.
Darren Drager, thoughts?
Well, I'm not listening to you guys. We're talking about the Stanley Cup Final now? All right. No, I would concur with Puff. I think for the most part the hockey has been very, very solid. Washington inside the building surprised me a little bit, to be fair.
I thought it was louder.
It was boisterous. It was.
I think that
The end game.
the in game, and this is not a slight on Vegas fans, but this Washington knows the hockey better.
Yeah.
And they're living and dying with every shift, where Vegas is more like, 18,000 people going to a really cool event.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I feel like that's grossly unfair. Very knowledgeable hockey people here in Vegas.
Did you say that you were in the dressing room last night? Tony Robbins was in the dressing room with the Capitals?
I mean, yes, he was. So was Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Capitals, which is less surprising.
Yeah, that's slightly less surprising.
The guy who owns the team
Good
showed
comment.
up.
Okay, come on.
Also, Alexander Ovechkin was in there.
Okay, but in truth, and I know you don't go into many dressing rooms anymore because you're a mega star and you don't just do hockey, you do golf and
Well,
everything
I like
else.
to see, I think there needs to be separation between me and the players, because I don't
But
want
the
to.
owners aren't often in the dressing room, if ever. So
Yeah.
I
So it
mean, it
was
was a
something.
good job. Yeah, but yeah,
Is Robbins as hugantic as he appears on television?
yeah, but he had a tumor.
Oh.
Like there's a medical reason behind it.
no, that
I
must-
believe it was a sophomore.
I'm not
year of high
making
school.
fun of the man. He's
Oh.
just a giant man.
Yeah, I think he's about 6'5".
No, he's bigger than that.
Does
Really?
Does
Yeah,
he have
he's a
that
big man.
gigantism like Andre the Giant had?
Nah, I don't think so, but he's big.
Okay.
He's got big hands too.
Yeah, there was an interesting exchange between Tony Robbins and Jay Beagle.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, they obviously know each other, so I get the sense that Tony's been in that room or around that group more than once. But Beagle came over. He did the weird, when you kind of what's the handshake where you hug? The combination when two men do that, right? Which I've never been comfortable with, but they did that,
Shocking.
and Beagle said it's our time.
Wow.
And Tony Robbins confirmed. It's your time.
And when he said that,
Yes,
you say,
it
"That's
is."
my word." I can't stand Tony Robbins. No offense, because it's all a load of crap. The whole
I
stuff
never
he
think
sells.
that stuff's a load of crap if it actually helps people. It could be mumbo jumbo, but if it makes people feel better about themselves, I'm all good with it.
Okay, so a disciple of Tony Robbins came to Ottawa once.
Yeah.
And the premise of the thing was that you would firewalk.
Okay.
Okay, but first you had to go through the hour Tony Robbins lecture, motivational lecture.
For sure.
And then we all went outside to firewalk.
Did you do it?
I was a reporter at the time, so I did it. I went first, as a matter of fact. It was mostly university students because it was at my school. And then everybody was all fired up because the Tony Robbins guy got them all fired up. And they all walked across the flames, and everybody was high-fiving and chest bumping, and this changed my life. This is unbelievable.
Sounds awesome.
I can do anything. So I go home. I put together my story. I go home. And
Was that after going to the emergency room and the third-degree burns on the soles of your feet?
That's exactly what happened. So, like, my feet start to get hot and hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And so I call 911. Well, I call the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my feet are burnt. And they go, you're like the 15th person that's called.
You're all morons.
You're all complete idiots.
Well, what did you think? You became like superhuman? Of course.
No,
it's
but
still
one
gonna burn you.
of my wife's friends worked for, like, she was right on the Tony Robbins thing, and I just think it's all. Look, if he helps people, any of our listeners, if you've been motivated, great on you. I just think it's a joke. So anyway, the hockey's been great. We've all said that. By the time you listen to this, it might be over, or maybe we'll be on our way back to Washington for Game 6. But it's been very enjoyable that way. All right, the other stuff. People want to hear the other stuff. I keep getting tweets. Is Puffy alive? Has Puffy survived? Has he met the Hang 10 models?
The Hang 10 model. There's been a lot of attractive ladies in Las Vegas, especially, but I've not met any professional models.
Have you met any professionals, period?
No, no professionals.
Have you hired any
There's
professionals?
been no hiring or firing. What's my per diem again?
We played craps.
We're craps guys now.
First time, so we had a night, I think it was the night after Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
After Game 1, you guys retreated to your rooms like losers, I think. And, oh no, what did you do?
We were responsible.
Puffy and I went
We
out.
went to the worst dueling piano bar experience of our lives.
That was
I told you it
horrendous.
was going to be bad.
You did call that one.
That was really bad. Where was that? At New York, New York.
New York.
And then
I mean,
we ended
the
up
guys
at-
playing the pianos were good. It was the crowd was rather.
We ended up at
Unattractive.
MGM,
Yep.
where, should we mention the guys that work for the rival network?
Yeah, I mean,
We shouldn't mention
Well,
names because they're gambling
yeah, they
addicts.
were gambling.
So let's use pseudonyms.
Yeah.
Tipper.
Rick Miprios, Elliot Breedman.
They love the tables.
Oh my goodness, they're there.
They put in shifts.
They do put in shifts, but they're. You know what? We've actually spent some time. We invited them up for our suites. We had
it's been a very
had
good
had some
Look,
good times.
Frankly, I think this
You used to
whole-
work there.
I did, and it's a little too cozy. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in competition. I know you're the highest paid broadcaster in Canada, which gives you perhaps a different position than the rest of us, but I have to go to war with these
but
guys
you're
on
really
a day-by-day basis.
struggling. The compound that you've built out in the East End is really tough to come by.
Should we talk about my previous suite in the last time we were here?
It was fantastic.
It was.
I mean, You almost are slumming it right now with what you have.
I sweet talked the guy at the front desk a little bit who was a journalism student. So I gave him some life advice.
Okay.
And he triple upgraded me. Mm-hmm. And so I had, what, about
2,000 square feet.
2,000 square feet with a wraparound balcony overlooking the pool party. And yeah, it was pretty sensational, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
Puffy was wishing it was a legit guys trip and that we didn't have to do this silly hockey stuff that gets in the way of everything.
It wasn't used to its full capabilities.
In fairness, you could have shared it, right?
Yeah.
Like you and Puffy could have shared.
I could have lived there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had a room.
Yeah, but...
But I feel like, given the little work that you actually do, Puff, that to justify your existence on these trips, aside from being James' sidekick, that might be one you have to do for the company.
This is uncalled for.
What were we talking about? We played craps with the and the third guy goes by the name of
Navid
Famber.
Navid Famber.
Who's actually a very good buddy of mine, and he taught us how to play craps.
Yes,
because we never played
the
before.
Pass line.
Doubling down. What was the other thing? Odds on. Put odds on 9, please.
Odds on 9.
And so before,
and then the hot shooter. We wanted a
hot shooter. Yeah, come on, shooter.
Yeah.
What would have been the creepiest thing that somebody said?
Amber.
Oh yes, David. I mean, when he's encouraging the shooter to roll the proper numbers.
Well, David is very funny, but his lines are a little bit lame.
Oh yeah, hokey.
And he was using a lot of hockey lines, like the guy would roll a 9, and he's like, "Oh, Gordie Howe, give me a Gordie, bud, give me a Gordie."
And let's just say, I don't think the gentleman
wasn't a big hockey crowd at the table.
Was a big hockey fan.
And the worst one was 8, and it was an 8. He's like, he started singing the 8 is enough theme. He's like, 8 is enough to fill our hearts with love.
Oh, 8 is enough to fill our lives with love.
It was fantastic.
Favid Mamber, by the way, maybe a guest, if we're allowed to cross-pollinate like that on the last episode of the season, which is going to be our special Cabot Links episode of the podcast, from Cabot Links in early July. So craps, we did well. I kind of lost all my money.
Yeah,
then
you went in with a big number.
Here was the problem. I lost my money, and so I sat out, and then the shooter at the other end of the table got hot. And Schmaven Mamber and Puff made a lot of money, and then I stole some of their money to get back in, and then I made my money back, and I broke even.
The guy who was the shooter at the other end of the table, I've never loved a man more I didn't know.
You were very taken with him.
Oh, he was fantastic, and I know it's complete random luck, but he was excellent at what he did.
Yeah.
He was like the Steph Curry of craps.
Puffy walked away saying, "I've never admired a man more than that guy."
And he kind of gave me like a bit of a nod and
I know, and you were like, "Wow, he likes me."
It was very exciting.
So, and at the end of the day, you made $20, right?
No, I made about $250.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to claim that on your income tax?
You don't have to.
Oh.
Canadian winnings don't count.
Let's discuss James's laundry list.
Dregs is now fishing around my room like the insider that he is. I just turned in a bag of laundry, which I do when I arrive in a new city. You want to go through it?
Well, there seems to be several pairs of briefs. I would have pegged you more as a boxer guy.
No,
briefs are
they're
they're
boxer briefs. Look they're all like this.
I don't want to
the
see
ones that go down the legs there.
No. Okay.
Yeah, there's 4
T-shirts,
4 socks,
1 pair of shorts,
just 1 pair of shorts.
Okay.
I brought a lot of shorts.
Some dry cleaning that needs to get done.
A couple of shirts.
I don't know, 5 pair of men's underwear and 6 pair of ladies' underwear.
You're such an idiot.
He wouldn't do those.
We should talk about the flower drink.
Oh, the flower drink.
My buddy Cameron, you listeners, if you always see at Arena, and he makes it onto SportsCenter sometimes, the cheering guy.
Yeah.
He's out of all the Golden Knights games. He does a lot of Cavs games in the final. You've seen him everywhere. He's my buddy Cameron from Ottawa, and he's like basically a paid cheering fan.
Yeah, the T-shirt guy, right?
Yeah. He takes T-shirts off, whips them into the crowd.
Now, do you study for that? Like, I mean, is there a
you know what?
diploma
Sometime
or
we got to
degree?
have him on. It'll be next season probably.
Yeah.
But let's have him on because he's turned it into a pretty good living.
Yeah, I could see
And he's-
myself doing something like that.
That would be a great job for you.
Would.
300 gigs a year at 3,000 per.
You already got
That's
all
what he
that
gets?
information?
That's what I was told.
Wow.
That's $900,000.
It's not a bad gig.
Wow.
And you both went to Carlton at the same time.
That's a lot of
and-
travel, though. 300 gigs. I would think.
Yeah, I saw him walking through the casino floor at night after a game. He looked in rough shape.
What do you mean? Like just tired?
Well, I don't know. His hair looked kind of disheveled, and it was like 9:30. You should not have looked like that. I think the hours are wearing.
Oh,
on.
wearing on them and the travel.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of gigging.
So anyway, Cameron says to me, he says, you have to go to the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmo and have a flower drink.
Yeah.
So Puffy and I went with Dregs. We had a night out together.
Dregs purchased the drink.
Dregs was kind enough to purchase the drinks
Yeah.
before we knew we had $100 food and drink credit on our damn hotel bill. And so the flower drink is a martini type of drink.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
With a flower in it.
Yeah, like a little flower.
And
A bud.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like a bud.
okay.
It's like sort of like a dandelion.
The top of a dandelion. So you drink the drink for a while, and then you take the flower and you chew on the flower, and then you swallow. Do we swallow flower?
Yeah, you swallow it. Yeah.
Swallow the flower, and then how do we best describe it?
It's almost like when you.
It's like a party in your mouth, and everybody's invited.
Well, yes, but it does have a bit of a feel of going to the dentist and having your mouth frozen.
Right. It's like your mouth gets
High.
high, basically. It kind of freezes, but not, and gets all tingly,
tingly.
numsy. You were witnessing this.
Yeah, and I mean, your eyes were spinning in your head there for a time. Like, it didn't look right to me. And in fairness, I was concerned. I was thinking that, look, maybe there's an allergic reaction happening here. And you commented several times that you felt drunk.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. But then it wears off after. But then the drink tastes different, kind of, after
does.
you have your mouth goes loopy.
It tastes better.
Yeah.
But it
Because you've been roofied.
Would you try? Would you try it again? Would you flour it
Yeah,
up
I would
again?
flour it up again.
I think we'll flour it up one more time. Will you flour it up with us?
I might, but that whole tingling in the mouth thing scares me. Like, could it be like?
What if
do
we
know
could get a
abstinence
flour that
is?
tingled your pants?
Nah, I don't think I'd be in for that.
Anyway, so we might flour it up again before we're done. I want to let Dregs go. Or should we engage him in the hypothetical before we leave? Okay. So, we need to play the theme song. Here's the recently fired Lester McLean with iDrinkCoffee.com.
Middle of the morning, can't keep my eyes open, cause I got to have a cup of java. I got to have a cup of java. So I better log on to I Drink Coffee, iDrinkCoffee.com. Woo-hoo. iDrinkCoffee.com.
Oh, wait. Back-to-back theme songs. Puffy's Hypotheticals.
Yo, 1, 2, 1, 2. These hypotheticals are messing with my mind. These hypotheticals, what's gonna be this time? These hypotheticals are blowing my mind again. These hypotheticals.
All right, it's a very special Darren Drager edition of Puffy's Hypotheticals, not involving any sort of sexual activity with mother-in-laws.
Yeah, with no
Father-in-laws?
Father-in-laws either. No family members.
No family members involved. Okay.
Okay, so you're in Las Vegas. One of these 3 things you have to do. One is spend 1 hour in the champagne room at the Spearmint Rhino.
Spending
Whatever, an hour in the champagne room is going to cost you a lot of money.
What is that place?
That is in an adult entertainment bar.
Did you search that to find it? Google it?
I Googled it, and then I did a site check.
Okay.
10K high stakes poker room for 4 hours. You have to spend there, so you could lose a lot of money.
So this is your own real money.
Yes, this is your real cash. Or play 108 holes of golf in 40-plus degree heat.
We are playing golf tomorrow. Ray Ferraro and I, Darren Drager, was supposed to play, but backed out.
Responsible guy.
Backed out meant working.
So none of those seem like really bad things.
No.
There's a lot of fun involved in
A
those
lot
things.
of fun, but also a lot of high-risk behavior.
Well, the only one that's potentially going to kill you is the golf.
Yes.
108 holes, walking, 40 degrees Celsius. I'd die.
Yeah.
I'd die. And I would not die for the Rubber Gloves podcast. Let's just put that out there. I feel like the champagne room is probably my best bet because in the hypothetical, there's no guarantee that you actually have to participate, right?
No, but if you're in there, there is a cost per minute, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, but you could buy champagne and just sit and be that creepy guy in the corner.
For sure, 100%.
And you're choosing that?
Well, as opposed to death and
look,
losing 150.
How much money win the poker room?
You got to be in you have to bring in $10,000.
Okay,
your own
so
money,
I could
but
win.
you have to pay for 4 hours. You have to pay for 4 hours.
But I can only lose 10 grand.
Yeah, that's the end of the day.
No, well, that's impossible. That's not how poker goes. If you lose 10,000 in the first 4 minutes, you've got to.
Well, then you're done.
Well, so are you going to sit there for 3 hours and 56 minutes?
I don't think it was well thought out, this one. I think everybody's going to pick the champagne room. But we can't do that because this is a fantasy show.
Exactly.
We would never do that.
I would go in the poker room.
I'd play the golf.
Because I think I could actually win some money playing poker.
I'd play the golf. And Dregs has already said that he'd be in
the
the champagne
champagne
room, being the creep in the corner. Really interesting. Interesting selections. I'll text Holly when this is over. I know you have to go do some radio.
I do.
We always appreciate you joining us here on the Rubber Boots Pod. We look forward to the Dragger Cafe being a full-time show next fall on CTV or Netflix if they outbid. If they outbid.
I've got bigger news, though.
Oh.
Yes, from the world of the podcast. I'm not sharing it here. Let's just say NBC is really coming hard after me.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Dragger Cafe?
I can't say anymore.
Said too much. You know, our bosses listened to this. So they heard not only
No
the
one
champagne
listens to
room.
this.
No. This is very, very important listening on the senior floor.
Yeah.
TSN.
So be wary.
So you've just given away your leverage, buddy.
You have none
I'm
now.
okay with that.
Well, we'll stay tuned for that. NBC interested in perhaps a Punky Brewster reboot with Darren Dreger as the creepy uncle
Exactly.
who goes to the strip joints. He's going to stay in my suite to do his radio?
No.
All right. You can't do that. We're doing a podcast.
Show some respect. And then there was two.
You just thought that up literally as we were doing the podcast.
It wasn't my
didn't you?
best work.
Well,
I wrote it on this cocktail napkin.
It just didn't seem like there was any.
I was going to go a little more.
Odd selection.
I was going to go a little more blue with some of the choices, and then I reeled it in.
You were going to get like paid escorts or whatever,
stuff
right?
like that.
But you need to clarify that these are the fantasy situations.
All
because I don't-
hypotheticals are fantasy situations, not things we would do in real life.
Okay. He's winking at me right now. No, we wouldn't do those things. I would do the poker because I think I'd have a chance to win. If you had said blackjack, I would have done that because you got a chance to win a blackjack.
Yeah,
Or
no,
craps. Yes,
Craps, I'm in.
Definitely.
I'd feel comfortable going in a $1.5 million craps game right now. Feel that good about it.
With your own money?
Well, if someone gave that to me, spotted it to me up front.
Let it all ride on 9. This has been Puffy's Hypotheticals. You know, Lester.
Yes.
You know, we joke, of course. Lester's not been fired.
never.
We look forward to reuniting with him. But he was down in Punta Cana.
Yes.
Well, we've been working hard at the Stanley Cup final, and Lester sent us a little voicemail we thought we'd have a listen to.
Yeah.
Hello, friends. Serious Lester coming to you from Punta Cana, Rio Republica Resort in Punta Cana. It's a beautiful day. I've been here for 4 days, I guess, and it's been a lot of fun so far. Not a day under 29 degrees Celsius with a beautiful breeze, and things are good.
Stuff, could you double time this? It's taken too long.
Listen, I've sent reports from my vacation before. Last time I did, I was very bummed out about the Montreal Canadiens. But as such, the Montreal Canadiens did not make the playoffs this year, so I had nothing to worry about. It's all been gravy for me. But listen, Washington Capitals, as I'm speaking to you right now, they had just qualified for the Stanley Cup Final after an amazing run. I'll tell you what, I think I said on the pod that I thought Boston would win the Cup. Obviously, I was wrong about that, but I also said that since Washington beat Pittsburgh, they get to the final, and I was right about that. So, Vegas and Washington, that's quite a bit of travel, but I think that's going to be fun times for our boy Puff and, of course, Mr. Duffy. Staff, you and I will have to be here and just relax and hold down the fort while the boys are on the road, but it will be a spectacular final, I'm sure. At least I hope, anyway. Let's hope it goes 6 or even 7 games. That's fantastic. Who do I like right now as I'm sitting here? For some reason, I think Washington's going to do it. I really do. But listen, it could very well be Vegas. So either way, I'm looking forward to a new team winning the Stanley Cup. And that's it. Before I go, though, an episode of A-Hole or A-OK. Sitting here at the pool yesterday, enjoying my cerveza, and my lovely lady was having she was having a strawberry daiquiri, I believe, with a shot of rum. Oh, yes. We're having a good time. But we happened upon some people that brought their little boombox to the pool and are playing their own music on top of the music that's already playing. So my question to you is, A-Hole or A-OK? We'll leave it there. Peace. See you soon. Lester McLean. Serious Lester for the Rubber Boots Podcast.
Oh, so Lester gave us a A-Hole or A-OK at the end there. The guy playing the Ghetto Blaster at the pool while the other tunes at the pool are playing. Thoughts?
Well, I've definitely participated in that type of behavior as a younger man.
Does anyone have a Ghetto Blaster anymore?
Well, probably not now, because everyone does.
Well, clearly someone does, because they're in Punta Cana with Lester having a Ghetto Blaster.
They must be old.
People have their phones, right? Everyone listens on their phones.
I would think so, but I remember when I would go down to Mexico for spring break with a couple buddies, we'd bring a Ghetto Blaster, and we'd crank it once we got off the airplane, walking through, and then guys with machine guns would tell us to turn it down, and we would happily oblige.
I'm going to say A-Hole. I don't think you can do that. People want to listen to the pool bar sets the tone. If you want to listen to your own stuff, you put it on the phones.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Unless he's the cool guy around the pool.
Yeah, maybe if he's got a sweet mix playing though, I might tell the pool guy to turn your down. We want to hear this guy.
Good point by you. Speaking of a guy who'd bring a cool mix, the other voicemail this week left by our pal Roddy. Let's see what he's up to.
Hey, boys. How's Vegas? Love that town. Go say hi to Candy and Crystal at the Spearmint Rhino for me. Ask them to do the Roddy Special, a pole dismount they named after me. Miss those girls. I know Roddy's been on the down low for a while now, for, about 3 weeks, or exactly the same amount of time Melania wasn't seen in public. I'll come clean, boys. It was wonderful. But I just broke it off. Sweet girl, but too clingy. Roddy got tired of hearing how large his hands were, how real his hair is, how un-orange his skin looks. Poor girl took it hard. If you thought she looked sad and trapped before, wait till you see her now. Anyway, had to get back to work. CFL season's coming, and Rod Baby's back on your TV. So Friday night is boys' night out, because all your ladies will be at home and a lather watching Friday night football. Pre-games and halftime anyway. The game is just filler between Roddy's single shots, commonly referred to by our female demographic as porn. See you soon, boys. Text my guy Vinny and he'll get you into the marquee pool party at the Cosmo. Roddy once did a cannonball off the bar roof with a bottle of Dom in his trunks and Carrot Top on his back. Good times. Roddy out.
So Roddy's apparently...
Well, I'm not surprised he's familiar with all that Vegas has to offer.
I think the thing with that hypothetical is Roddy would have chosen all of the above, because that's what he does. Except maybe the golf.
Yeah, he would not be playing... He would die playing 108 holes of golf.
I have a quick something I just saw on Twitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
Things that I saw on Twitter is brought to you by our friends at the Gansevoort Resort in Turks and Caicos. I've booked my summer trip. I'll be heading down there in August.
Is it the whole family going or just you and Sharon?
Jared and his girlfriend will be going. My son.
Wow.
Rachel. And my youngest daughter, Gracie.
Nice.
She may bring a friend along.
What about Darian?
Darian is in France at the Blythe Academy. Do you know what that scam is?
For what? Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like for finishing school for proper ladies.
It's where you go over on a trip to some exotic country and you get a credit. You take a class while you're there.
Oh, that's kind of like what
don't know how
Shannon
much-
Doherty and Jenny Garth did in Beverly Hills 90210.
Right, and she
You know
met
what? It
Leek.
wasn't- yeah.
She met Leek from France. Leek.
It wasn't Jenny Garth. It was Tori Spelling.
Oh.
So Donna and Brenda
Both went.
over
and
to
Brenda met Leek.
Leek. Yeah.
Leek, I love you.
Yeah.
And,
wish
but
I
he
did
wasn't
that.
really French, Reek, right?
No, I think it was like
Reek was Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
He was a handsome guy.
Very good looking.
That's probably what's going to... Are you saying that's what's going to happen to Darian? She's going to meet some...
I
guy.
can guarantee you she will fall in love on this trip. Guaranteed.
She's never been in love before.
That's the thing. It's going to happen on this trip. It happened to Donna. And
She's never had a boyfriend.
She will come back with a boyfriend and an accent. Those are my two predictions.
What kind of accent?
It'll be French, like a bit of a French accent she'll have.
What kind of boyfriend?
Could be French. Could be anywhere. Paris is a world-class city. It's going to be a big summer for her. Probably the summer of her life.
I didn't think... Why are you saying this stuff to me?
It's nothing bad.
No, it's upsetting to me. It's
gonna
my
fall in
little
love
girl.
one day.
It's my little... Yeah, but not at 17 in France.
What's wrong with that? Is there a better place to fall in love than France?
What I'm more worried about, like... I'm going to be like Liam Neeson in Taken. If I hear one bit of trouble, I'm going over there to find her.
Now, no, I can't even say that. 'Cause I was gonna say the
No,
the
she's not gonna be
situation,
sold into the
taken-
sex trade.
No, but no, I was going to say like she was taken. Like, how would you be able to handle it at all?
I don't think I do.
You
as
would be
well.
over there just talking to the police
I wouldn't
station.
know.
You wouldn't be combing the
Yeah.
streets like Liam Neeson.
If it was me, I'd go over there and I'd go. You anybody see
You'd
my
be
daughter?
like the parents in Home Alone, who are not even. You'd be calling from Toronto.
I'd be
Like, have you
useless.
found her yet?
No, I know. Why do you?
Now we're
shame
going
me?
down to the Gansevoort, so you can reach us there if you hear from her.
The Gansevoort, by the way. So the villas are now all done. And,
Are you staying in a
and
villa?
Being rented. I don't believe I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay in a resort. In the resort this time. I love them both equally.
My friend Chris said the resort is fantastic.
It is the best, and the villas are awesome. So they're available for renting.
So
now.
how many rooms are you gonna have?
I'll probably get a 2-bedroom, I guess.
Where are the kids gonna sleep?
Well, Gracie will sleep with her friend.
Okay,
Jared,
we'll sleep with his
Rachel,
friend.
but they will be just
Will they be in the same room as Gracie and her friend?
yes. So Gracie will be a chaperone.
That's like, just put yourself in Jared's position at his age.
Well, what are we gonna do?
You could maybe have Gracie and her friend stay with you and Cheryl, and give Jared the room and privacy he deserves as a man.
But I don't want to split a room with people. Jimmy's got to have his fun.
Wow, you should get a 3-bedroom then. Spring for the 3rd bedroom.
Wow.
You can't do that to him.
Just because your boys are little, you haven't had these situations yet. You don't know this. I trust them.
Well, I'm sure they'll be very proper.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, go to the Gansevoort whenever you have a chance. We're glad to have them aboard at full time as a sponsor.
Fantastic.
Starting next season. So, Puff, this from Deadspin.
I also saw this on the plane.
Okay, so I can't read it to you, and you.
Well, I won't be as shocked as the people at home.
All right, so this is an obituary
Yes.
for a lovely, lovely old lady.
She looks very lovely.
Her picture is she looks like your grandma.
Yeah, she looks like an everyday grandma.
She looks like my Nana. Kathleen Demlow Shunk was born on March 19, 1938 to Joseph and Gertrude Shunk. She married Dennis Demlow in Wabasso in 1957, had 2 children, Gina and Jay. In 1962, she became pregnant by her husband's brother Lyle and moved to California. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were then raised by her parents in Clements, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Shunk. She passed away May 31st, 2018 in Springfield and will now face judgment. She will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that this world is a better place without her.
How long was that
End.
written? Like, they had that ready to send years in advance.
That is, it's an awful story.
Yeah.
But you'd think when death comes forgiveness or in age.
Yeah,
or,
there was definitely no forgiving there. She seems lovely, too, in the picture. and what she did in her life, she probably made some bad choices.
Yeah, that is awful. Anyway, that was.
But people on the Twitter were saying, like, this could become a podcast. This whole story. Finding all the backstory about what happened to her ex-husband, what happened to the brother.
Should
Did
we
they
do that
fight?
next season
That could be
on the Rubber Boots
That could
podcast?
become- 'cause
The
those
full
kinda-
story.
Those kind of story podcasts have now become quite popular.
Yeah, you know what? I want to recommend a podcast because I've been listening to it during my little workouts here and when I had downtime in the final.
Nice humble brag there.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have stuck that in there, should I have? They haven't really been that good workouts. Now I'm going to forget. I think it's called In the Dark.
Okay.
It is by National Public Radio in the States. It is season 2. It looks into the an innocent man named, well, we believe he's innocent, Curtis Flowers, who is charged with murdering 4 people way back then, has been tried 6 times. Every time it's ended in a mistrial. This is a black man in Mississippi. The white DA keeps retrying him.
I thought there's something called double jeopardy. I saw the movie.
No, not with mistrials. If you're acquitted, yes. But anyway, really incredible journalism. So I like to send
Jimmy,
shout-outs
you're
to
a real
good
big
podcasts.
fan of the whole murder stuff.
Yeah, I know.
You like those murder mysteries.
I made a comment about Forensic Files on Twitter last night.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Forensic Files as I'm going to bed.
Do you think you should have been a detective?
If you die,
Yes.
if you
you
get murdered,
Yeah.
I will find a carpet fiber in Darren Drager's trunk that will link him directly to the crime.
Now, would it be better for you if I died in a murder mystery?
Yes.
Like, I mean, I'm gonna die, so like
that would be season
rather
season
than
7,
just,
entire season 7.
Passing away in my sleep, murder mystery.
Who killed Puffy?
Killed
Here's the trailer for season 7 of the Rubber Boots Pod.
This season on the Rubber Boots Pod, he was a bit of a degenerate,
There'd be lots of suspects.
but I loved him. The mysterious death of Puffy, Sean Cameron.
Now you would know it would have been the husband that killed me, because it always is the husband.
But you're not.
Yeah,
In your case, it would
my
be the
wife
wife.
wouldn't. She wouldn't murder me.
So what are you saying?
She would hire someone to murder me.
Oh,
It would be a murder for hire. So
right.
I'm giving
And
you a hint.
At the end, it would always turn out to be that it would be. Yeah.
Get her on the phone calls.
Right. Darren Drager has returned after his little radio. How did it go? What were we on with?
I thought I was exceptional. I was on with Blake Price and Matt Sakaris in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get any good information did you feed them?
Yeah, I gave him some good inside stuff.
Why are you still on the phone?
Because I'm listening to a voice message from Russia. I have no idea what it is, but I think I've won something significant.
I just have to give my social insurance number in.
Let's do fandom before we go.
Yeah.
So as we told you off the top of the show,
Yeah.
last pod we promised to give away 2 tailor-made drivers. My friend,
Fantastic.
oh, the M4 drivers are unbelievable. The twist face drivers. I can't wait. I'm getting a new one. I'm going to play it as soon as I get home. It's going to be fantastic.
James, I think that I should also get one too.
I'll work on that for you, Puffy.
Thank you. 'Cause it's good people at TaylorMade.
Right. So TaylorMade, we're giving away 1 to the fandom winner this
Yes.
week, as promised. We wanted to, because there's no guarantee that the winner, the best answer on fandom, is going to be a great golfer.
Yeah.
So we wanted to guarantee we got one to somebody who loves golf. So we asked you to send your videos or your messages to either the Twitter account or the Instagram account. And from there, we will award another one next week. And by the way, we got a whole bunch of...
that put in videos.
Yeah, that put in videos, so you don't think that we are ignoring you. Clowner 30, Steehall 24, Spencer Brown 9, Bragg Bill, Jimmy Mac 080, I Maiden Barfoot, D Porter, Clayander, Hale 9. Plus there was a bunch more on Twitter. I'm just probably going to screw up the technology here if I keep doing this. So
Also to come, Puffy Long Drive.
the Puffy Long Drive what?
That's going to be a Twitter account that will have.
Oh, that will be you trying to sneak one in. So our fandom question was, after Aaron Wise's girlfriend rushed onto the green to hug him afterwards, he tried to kiss her and she looked away.
Yeah.
It was very awkward. So we said, if you got friend zoned by your girl after your first PGA Tour win, would you break up or prenup? 64% breakup.
That's an easy answer for me.
Yeah, it's a harsh crowd. I would go prenup. I'd give her another chance.
No chance.
So here are some of the answers we'll read for you. Puffy's mom. Breakup. If Aaron was my man, I would kiss him all the time. That was Murph111. I don't really have any reaction to her turning away. All I'm looking for is the free driver. Can't wait to hear my name called on next week's pod in Vegas. Interesting. Murph 111.
what
Not
do you
exactly
think about
what we're looking for as far as a clever answer. Here's Spinomaster 89. Last summer during a tournament, I witnessed the girlfriend of a golfer tackle him and have a horizontal makeout session after he got closest to the pin.
I like it.
With 2 more groups to play. The prize, a $200 gift certificate to the keg. I would say based on this reaction and the fact Wise won over $1 million, he should break up with the girlfriend. Show the man some love.
Agreed.
Spinomaster 89 is definitely in contention. Couple more here. MD Wheaton. Listen, this is a no-brainer. This gift wins you every argument you ever have with the wife. Could you imagine if Stoff could pull this out every time he has an argument with his lovely wife, LaQuisha? Wife, stop. You're embarrassing me. You're not supposed to fart in the grocery store. Stoff, oh yeah? You're supposed to kiss me when I win a championship, especially when it's televised on national television. Now that is the ultimate ace in the hole. MB Steven 67, I say prenup, but knowing that my current girl is 1999 Sarah Orlesky, you know that she's getting a prenup on me and not the other way around. Odd. Somewhat creepy. Puffy's mum Bookie. a new account. Breakup. She twisted her face away from more than the tailor-made twist-face driver.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Well done, but he can't really win. Couch Jock says, I get more action from my dog when I get home from work. I quite enjoyed that one as well.
That's a dog.
Organized Chaos. I'm not a fan of PDA, public displays of affection. But damn women, give Papa some sugar. He just made bank.
Nice.
Talks very hip.
Yeah.
Does Organized Chaos. Did you want it? You can juice, Puffy. It's
like
a
the
driver's
one about-
on the line.
I like the one about the horizontal, the story about the horizontal.
Oh, the story from last year? Okay.
That was
Spinomaster 89. Congratulations, Spinomaster 89. You have won a brand new tailor-made M4 driver. Give us your info on the fandom or on the Twitter, and we'll make sure it's you, and we'll send you out a driver. Congratulations. I'm sorry, I know everybody will be disappointed that they didn't win, but please send your videos in, and we'll give away the most deserving one. This week's fandom questions, we had a couple of good ones. Do you remember them? Because we came up with them over a few beers, didn't we? Do you remember?
Well, one of them was if you're a fan of a team, say you're a Capitals fan, and your team has a chance to win the cup in Game 5.
Okay, so this scenario right
on
here.
the road,
Right.
or you could, but you have tickets for Game 6.
Oh.
Do you want them to lose Game 5 so you can be there in person for Game 6?
Wow.
We work with a guy, Mike Antonazzi, who's a huge Capitals fan, will be coming to Game 6.
For us.
For us. I talked to him about it. He says he wants them to win in 5 still. He doesn't want to risk.
Yeah, I don't think you want to
them
mess
blowing.
with the karma if you're
Yeah.
a diehard fan. I think I'd have to answer it that way. Because you're not going to be disappointed, right? You're going to be thrilled.
Now, I did have
And if
this
you lose in
scenario.
5 and then lose in 6 again and then lose in 7, you're going to blame
yeah,
yourself
so-
somehow for wanting it that way.
In 1993, when the Jays were in the World Series, they were up 3-1. I had tickets to Game 6, and I cheered for them to lose in Game 5. Went to Game 6, and Joe Carter hit the home run. So winner,
Worked out
winner
well
for
you.
me.
But there wasn't as much pressure because
They
you
had
won
won
the-
in 92.
Right. I will say this. I can distinctly remember in Vancouver, the 2011 Stanley Cup Final,
Yeah,
that when it was 2-0,
yeah.
I think we were in a bar or something, and some fan said to me, oh, I hope that Boston wins at least one in Boston so we can win it at home.
Yeah.
And that is what bad karma is all about.
That may have been the cockiest fan base.
Yeah.
About they were so certain they were going to win that cup.
Right. But everybody gets that way up 2-0. Second question.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes.
And they lose.
Yeah.
So let's say they lose Game 5 or 6. Would you have taken this season? Darren Drager still on the phone in the background. Shut up! We're trying to do a podcast.
He's on the radio.
A little radio. Who cares? Where was I? Would you take this season, knowing you're losing the Stanley Cup Final, but you had this dream season, or wipe out this season and take Rasmus Dahlin getting the first overall pick?
Jimmy, you know how I love my 18-year-old boys.
That did not come across well at all.
Draft picks. I think that if it was like the Leafs, I would rather have Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay.
But I think it was very important for Vegas to establish itself in this market. And being here for the last week or so, I feel like they've done a great job of that. And I think it means more than what this pick would have meant.
I think that's a very well thought out answer. I think in the long run, they may say Dahlin. In 4 years, if Dahlin's the best player in the league, we may look back on this differently. But I think that even if they lose, this is one of those things that you have forever, and you say, remember that
so
run.
Much positive.
Yeah. I wouldn't have said, if you'd have said conference final, I would have changed my mind. But I think you make it to a Stanley Cup final.
It's a big deal.
It means something.
I've never seen my team in a Stanley Cup final.
Right.
And Vegas fans have. I mean, it's a great accomplishment, even if they come up short.
Anyway, both of those questions will be on Fandom
George
this week.
McPhee was staring down those prospects pretty good yesterday.
Well, it's funny. I did a bit with the prospects yesterday, and so McPhee is there and Rasmus Dahlin is there. And I said, you probably thought you were going to get him, right? And he said, I'm pretty sure we were going to be in the running, but I think he'd choose this. It's been an unbelievable year. It's been great. Vegas has been fantastic. Hopefully we'll have more stories for you from Vegas or perhaps from Washington.
We're going to have a big craps night tonight,
we had a good time in Washington. The only time that Puffy really kind of fell
off the wagon,
hard off the wagon, was in Washington. You've done a great job. You've been a great
Vegas
producer.
Vegas have been pretty good.
What happened in Washington that night?
We had a shorter work day.
Media party.
Drager and I decided to go for afternoon drinks.
Right.
We were drinking whiskey, and then we went to an all-you-can-drink
media party,
and then I don't remember what happened after about 9:30 p.m.
Yeah. I said I was going to go home because I had a game the next day, and I'm a professional. And the look you gave me was the look of such disappointment and disdain, and you have no recollection of this.
No, I don't remember that. I do remember I saw Frank and Pierre LeBrun out, though, after.
Right.
So they went to the wood. You didn't.
Yeah. But you showed up at work the next morning.
Yeah, no problem. I wasn't even that hungover.
Boom. There was a little bit of concern that you might be dead the next morning.
I had quite a few text messages, and I honestly don't know how I was alive.
You did well. Anyway, thanks for listening. I know this has been your typically kind of off the rails hotel room edition of the pod.
Always a favorite.
Oh, you know what would be a good way to end the pod?
What?
To lock Drager out there. Okay, just walking up to the door. Darren Drager out on my patio. Going to shut the door. Clasp the lock. And there we go. Thanks for listening. Anybody trying to reach Darren Drager, it's like The Hangover, where the guy gets stuck on the roof.
Exactly. He'll be out there frying.
We'll chuck him out a mattress. Thanks for listening on the Rubber Boots Pod.
Hey, how are ya? I got a question that I really want to ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Oh, I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. And I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank or the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With the rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Don't fall in. wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, or black or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? Do you really like the dunk tank at the fair? Dunk tank.
Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight?